Today on Julia at Home, I'm making a simple school night supper with sautéed chicken, topped with some cherry tomatoes and a little feta. I'm gonna do air fryer broccoli, which my daughter loves because it's a little crisp around the edges, and hands-off coconut baked rice. And to top it off, a snack cake featuring pumpkin and chocolate chips. And to make it even easier, I had all of the fresh ingredients delivered right to my front door, thanks to Hungry Root. Now this meal comes together in a snap, less than 30 minutes, and it's especially easy if you have all the perishables delivered right to your front door. So let's unbox all the goodies. Here's the broccoli, the cherry tomatoes, oh, lots of different colors, head of garlic, the feta, this is good feta. Oh, I forgot I ordered some pickle snacks. And here is the chicken and the ice pack. Now this is cool because it's non-toxic and you can pour it down your drain, but it says plant food on it and they mean it. You can thaw it and add it right to your flowers. All right, let's put this stuff in the fridge and start making dinner. To get started, we're gonna make the rice, which we're baking in the oven, which I love because it's hands off. But the key to making really good baked rice that has flavor and is good and fluffy is to get the liquid hot and to rinse the rice ahead of time. So here I have 2 cups of water to make it coconutty. I'm gonna add a little bit of coconut milk. This whole thing is all I need for the rice. It's about 3/4 of a cup. We're also gonna flavor this with a little bit of ground cardamom. Really brings out that coconut flavor. Just about 1/8 of a teaspoon. Also gonna add a little bit of olive oil, about a tablespoon or so, and a little bit of salt. There we go. So we're gonna heat this up in the microwave just until it's hot. You could also do this on the stove top in a pot if you wanted. As for the rice, we're gonna use long grain rice today, but you could do this method with basmati or jasmine if that's what you like. This is 1.25 cups of rice, and again, this is 2 cups of liquid. And we're gonna rinse the rice. That is one of the keys to making this recipe work. And this, if you've never seen one before, is a rice rinser. This was given to me by my good friend Greer many years ago. I didn't know they existed. It makes rinsing rice really easy and kind of fun. All right, rice is rinsed, liquids are hot. Just gonna dump the rice into an 8x8-inch baking dish. You could use a metal baking dish here if you want, or a casserole dish. We're gonna add the hot liquid. Oh, the coconut smell, that little bit of cardamom. This is my favorite way to eat rice. Now you wanna make sure to push any rice that's stuck to the side of the dish down into the liquid. Now we're gonna cover it with 2 sheets of aluminum foil just to make sure it's airtight. And into a hot oven it goes, 450 degrees for about 20 minutes. Love what you're watching? Take your cooking to the next level with our Essential membership. Get instant access to thousands of recipes, tips, techniques, product reviews, and step-by-step videos. Our Members app allows you to search by ingredient, set dietary preferences, and save your favorite recipes. For those looking to level up, our newest feature, ATK Classes, offers more in-depth instruction led by ATK experts, so you can gain greater confidence in the kitchen. Start your free trial by visiting the App Store or going to americastestkitchen.com/YouTube today. The rice is cooking away in the oven, and we have a little time to prep the rest of the meal, which doesn't take very much. We're gonna make air fryer broccoli, which if you've never had it, you are missing out. It is the best roasted broccoli because the outside gets a little charred, almost tastes like popcorn. Everybody loves this broccoli. But the trick to using broccoli in the air fryer is you have to add a little moisture to help it cook through and steam, or else the center stays really much too crunchy and stiff. So in this bowl, I'm gonna add a little bit of water. This is about 1.5 tablespoons of water, equal amount of olive oil, about 1.5 tablespoons. And this is for 1.5 pounds of broccoli, which is good for 3 to 4 people. On average, it's 1 pound of broccoli to 1 tablespoon of water to 1 tablespoon of oil. This is 1.5 pounds, so I increased everything a little bit. We're gonna add some salt, about 1/4 teaspoon. And we're gonna whisk this together. Just dissolve the salt. That way it coats the broccoli evenly. There we go. The best thing about ordering food from Hungary, it's already prepped and washed. Now, if you see any really big pieces, you might want to go in there and break them up with your fingers because the air fryer cooks so quickly that you want to make sure everything cooks at the same rate. So you can just go in there and break up any big pieces. Usually there's one or two. All right, second bag here. Just want to toss the broccoli around with the water and the olive oil. I know this doesn't look like a lot of water, but it makes a big difference in the air fryer. That's it. Set this aside. We'll put that in the air fryer when it's time. Let's turn our attention to the chicken, the star of the show. Here I have 4 6-ounce chicken breasts, or actually I should say cutlets. Now back in the day, chicken used to be a lot smaller, chicken breasts. They were about 4 to 6 ounces each. Nowadays, they've just gotten so big, but luckily Hungry Root already prepped these into perfect 6-ounce portions, so they'll all cook at the same rate, and it's the proper portion size. So these are cutlets. We're just gonna season them on both sides with salt and pepper, and I'm gonna dust them with some flour before we give them a saute. So here I have some all-purpose flour, nice shallow dish. We're gonna pick up a cutlet, dust it with flour. Make sure it's nice and coated evenly. You wanna shake off any excess, put it on a clean sheet, and that's it. After this, we're ready to fire up the stove. All right, it's been 20 minutes, so the rice is done. You wanna take off the lid carefully. There's a lot of steam under there. Oh, the aroma of the coconut milk and the cardamom, so good. All right, so what you wanna do right after you bring the rice out of the oven is go in with a fork and fluff it up. Break any clumps up, incorporate a little air into the rice. That's how you get a nice fluffy rice for serving. That's pretty good. Just gonna cover it lightly with foil, keep it warm. Let it rest until we're ready to serve. All right, and for the chicken, I've already started heating up some oil in a skillet. Medium-high heat. You wanna wait till the oil is just starting to smoke. That's how you get a nice sear on a very thin piece of chicken. All right, so we're gonna add all 4 pieces to the pan. And these are gonna cook through very quickly. We're gonna cook them till they're light brown on both sides, and they're cooked through register about 160 degrees. Although with thin cutlets, I have to say, it's hard to take their temperature. They cook through so quickly, anywhere from 6 to 8 minutes per side. Now while we cook this chicken, we're also gonna throw the broccoli in the air fryer. So here I have the air fryer basket. Broccoli's all prepped to go. Just wanna put it in an even layer. Into the air fryer it goes, 350 degrees, anywhere from 8 to 12 minutes, depending on how much broccoli you have. You wanna give it a stir halfway through. The chicken has been cooking for a few minutes on this first side. You can see it has those nice golden around the edges. That is perfect. Because this chicken, it does not take long to cook. So we're gonna flip it over, cook it on the second side. A few more minutes. This chicken's been cooking on the second side. Probably done, but the only way to know for sure is to take its temperature. Chicken breast should always register between 160 and 165. So what you want to do when taking the temperature of a thin piece of chicken like this is you want to go in from the side and you want to stick the thermometer in and you want to look for the lowest temperature. You can see it's going up. You pull it out a little bit. Oh, it's going down. It's like the lowest temperature is about 160, 161. I'm going to take the chicken out, put it on a plate. All right, cover this with foil, let it rest for a little bit, and that broccoli has finished cooking. The broccoli is done. Oh, it is My family's favorite broccoli. And I'm not a big broccoli fan, but this is the broccoli I will eat because you can see slightly charred on the edges, but it's steamed all the way through and tender. The last thing to do before we can eat is make a quick pan sauce using some cherry tomatoes and Kalamata olives. All right, so in the bottom of the skillet, there's lots of brown bits or fond, and that makes a delicious quick pan sauce. In this case, it's more like a pan sautéed cherry tomato relish. So we're gonna start with a little bit of olive oil. I'm gonna add 2 cloves of garlic. Just gonna use the garlic press and add it right to the pan. You just wanna cook this for about 30 seconds until it's nice and fragrant. Now we're gonna add the cherry tomatoes and Kalamata olives. Cherry tomatoes, about 2 cups, I cut them in half, and about half a cup of Kalamata olives, right to the pan. And if you have a lot of good fond and you're having trouble scraping it up, you can add a tablespoon or 2 of water. And then with that water, just start scraping up the fond. You're gonna cook this until the cherry tomatoes start to wilt a little bit. It takes a couple minutes. Give that a minute. We'll put the chicken on the platter, but I'm gonna save any juices that have collected on the plate. Those will go in the sauce. Juices go back in the skillet. That looks just about perfect. Let's turn the heat off. You can see the cherry tomatoes have started to wilt a little bit and release some of their juice. Just gonna finish it with just a drizzle of olive oil and a hit of black pepper. There's plenty of salt between the olives and the feta that we're gonna add. Over to the platter we go. Beautiful tomatoes and Kalamatas right on top of the chicken. It's kind of like a side dish and a relish in one. I mean, come on, this is less than half an hour, and this is a gorgeous platter. Now we're gonna top it off with a little bit of feta. Oh yeah, the feta gets warm and starts to melt. Oh, doesn't that look beautiful? And you can add a little bit of basil or cilantro or whatever fresh herb is your favorite. I like basil with the tomatoes and the Kalamatas. And that's it. Dinner is served. All right, let's make a quick tasting plate. Start off with some of this rice. Now for some broccoli. Last but not least, a nice big piece of chicken. Oh, and lots of those tomatoes. What a gorgeous, colorful plate. All right, first bite, it's gonna be the chicken with the tomatoes and a piece of olive. And a little piece of feta. Oh yeah. The fresh tomatoes make the most wonderful relish. I mean, it's so easy. You just cut them in half, toss them in the skillet for a couple minutes, but their juices come out. And it's lovely and fresh. The chicken is cooked perfectly. It has a delicious flavor. The rice, fluffy, has that coconut aroma, that little hit of cardamom, and the broccoli. That little bit of char, that's the best part. Cooked all the way through so it's not crunchy in the center, but still just toothsome enough so it's not soggy. This is by far the best broccoli. This meal is just so easy. I mean, you have the rice in the oven, you have the broccoli in the air fryer, and the cutlets cook in just a few minutes, tossed with some warm cherry tomatoes. I mean, it's a fabulous dinner, less than half an hour. And to think we still have that pumpkin chocolate chip snack cake to look forward to.
Are you ready to take your cooking to the next level?
Introducing the complete America's Test Kitchen TV show cookbook.
Featuring every recipe from every episode of America's Test Kitchen. That's thousands of recipes. That texture is unbelievable. Reviews,
gadgets you didn't know you needed.
and tips.
Yes, there's some terrible choices, but there are also some amazing choices.
We've spilled all of our secrets and included our insider notes alongside each recipe.
Plus, there's a handy shopping guide so you know exactly what to grab when you're at the store.
And of course, it makes an excellent gift. Get your copy today at americastestkitchen.com.
To top off this school night menu, I'm making a snack cake featuring pumpkin and mini chocolate chips. And much like the rest of this meal, this cake is simple. It's just a bowl method. So we're gonna start with flour in a bowl. This is 1 cup of all-purpose flour. To this, we're gonna add the leaveners. This is a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and half a teaspoon of salt. And the key flavor is pumpkin, which means we're gonna pull out the pumpkin spice. You need a tablespoon of pumpkin spice. We're gonna add it right to the flour mixture. That looks good. Whisk them all together. Oh, smells like back to school when you smell pumpkin. All right, set this aside. Now for the liquid ingredients, it starts with pumpkin puree, which I have here. It's canned. Now this isn't pumpkin pie filling. There's no sweetener. It's just cooked pureed pumpkin. You want a cup of it, which is a little less than a can. So using my adjustable measuring cup here. The other thing about this pumpkin puree, freezes like a dream. I make all sorts of pumpkin breads and pumpkin muffins throughout the fall because it's a family favorite. And actually, I wind up adding some to the dog food too because my favorite little furry friend Ziggy loves pumpkin on his food. And supposedly it's good for dogs. So is that a cup? That's a cup. Into the bowl it goes. To the pumpkin puree, we're gonna add a cup of sugar, half a cup of vegetable oil. And this is where it's interesting. I'm not using butter here. Vegetable oil helps keep the cake nice and moist. It also really allows that pumpkin flavor to shine through. And 2 eggs. And just crack them right into the bowl. There's 1. There's 2. All right, we're gonna whisk this together. I love these sort of snack cakes. They're not fussy. You can whip them together in just a few minutes. And they're meant to be eaten kind of standing up on the go, right out of hand. All right, that looks good. It's as simple as putting the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. You just wanna stir and whisk this together. Whatever utensil you have on hand is just fine here. No worry about over-mixing or under-mixing or leaving just a few lumps or streaks. This is a pretty bomb-proof cake. That looks pretty good. Let's not forget the chocolate chips. I like using the mini chips here because it gives you little bites of chocolate. This is about half a cup of mini chips. Stir them in. And that's it. We're off to the races. Here's the pan ready to go. It's an 8-inch square pan. I've already greased and floured. Actually, I used a grease flour spray. It's perfect for this kind of simple baking. Just dump the batter right into the pan. This batter is perfect for an 8-inch square baking pan. I'm just gonna give it a few wraps on the counter to release any air bubbles. Then into the oven it goes, 350 degrees, about 35 minutes until a toothpick comes out clean. The cake is baked. Now let it cool in the pan for about 20 minutes. That's to help set up the structure. Then I took it out of the pan and I've let it cool completely for about an hour and it is ready to taste. So just gonna transfer it over to a serving board. And like I said earlier, this is a simple cake meant to be eaten after school, out of hand. So I'm just gonna cut a little piece, not even pull out a plate. Just a napkin is all you need. Oh, look at that. Perfectly cooked all the way through. So nice and moist. Oh yeah. It is so simple, but it's a little sweeter than a pumpkin muffin or a pumpkin bread. The texture's a little more delicate, and I love the little bites of chocolate that are studded throughout. I love simple cakes like this that you can just eat out of hand. It's a great way to round out a really easy dinner. See you next time.
If you're ready to take your cooking to the next level, head over to americastestkitchen.com and get a free trial of our ATK Essential membership. While you're there, you can sign up for our free email newsletters and download our app. So, what are you waiting for?